Hey everybody, Ricky T here. I hope you're having a great day, whatever day you're watching this. I wanted to offer an idea that I've interestingly been guided to share a lot this week with many of our clients in my what I love this year-long container we call Produce You, which is helping people put their good work into the world. So I hope this serves you. I'm borrowing this great phrase that Peter Drucker was a management consultant, I think in the 50s or 60s. I didn't do major research, but I do know he's a management consultant, and he had this great phrase that really stuck. It's very sticky, and it was called culture eats strategy for breakfast. You may have heard this term. In a business context or a team context, here's the philosophy of it, right? You can have the best tactics and the best strategy in the world if the energy and the connectivity and the aliveness and the passion and the commitment, i.e., all the things that live in the culture of a team, if they're not sort of on fire or aligned, the strategy will fall apart. So culture eats strategy for breakfast is the concept. So he was all about yes to strategy, but let's make sure that the culture will support the strategy. Okay. So feel free to go look that up, Peter Drucker. That concept might serve you and your good work in the world, and you can go train that and go help that, because really helping teams and organizations be a better aligned culture, huge industry unto itself. Now, let me bring this to you personally. So we are and I use the word a little bit outside of its normal usage. I am a culture. My mindset, my energy, my philosophy, my way of being. And I use the word culture here not in terms of my cultural background. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about the being of me, the human being of me, not the human doing of me. Okay? So I am a culture. You're a culture. Okay? And I have 3 ideas on how to be more intentional and more sort of creative, if you will, with upping your capacity to create and do your good thing into the world, to sort of create a better cultural self. Let's say it that way. Okay. So 3 ideas. The first one is philosophy. Okay. Remember your philosophy for living. I know if you follow me or you hang out in my world, you have a particular philosophy for how life can go better. You've either been trained as a life coach, or you're in the leadership development space, or you're in some sort of transformational business. You have a philosophical viewpoint about how life can work better. Whether that's a spiritual practice you have, whether you believe that being in nature more will help, please lean into your philosophical understanding about how life goes better and lean into that, because that'll sort of ground us back into, what do I believe about how this thing called life works? What do I believe about how to have people feel more fulfilled in life? What do I believe about how to have people be less anxious with life? You have philosophical underpinnings that I know that we just forget. When the going gets tough, we sort of forget. So remember to bring alive, or maybe have it even posted, post it nearby or something that's like, here are my philosophical underpinnings about how I think life should go better. And be proud of them, share them, lean into them, live from them. Because when we live from our philosophical underpinnings, we're walking the talk of what we believe, right? So the first word is philosophy. The second word is energy. Energy. We are energetic beings. We have a body. My thoughts are giving off an energy. My body's giving off an energy. My everything's giving off an energy, right? And humankind has figured out how to harness energy. Energy's floating around all the time. You all know this. And humans came along and put it in a wire called a resistor, and we create lights, and we create, it powers things. We all know how this works. So we have the ability to harness and guide and move energy in directions. please know that for yourself, that you can harness the energy around you. You can be more conscious of the energetic impact you're having by what you talk about, how you be as you talk about. Now, I'm not talking about always being positive and all that stuff, but it's really like, if you really remember, I am having an energetic impact all the time. That ups the responsibility on what's the energy I'm giving off, right? And it doesn't mean, again, you have to be positive and where and when and how, just to be more conscious of the energetic impact, okay? And that becomes fascinating. That becomes a fun sort of game to play. Like, how can I change the energy of this Zoom call? How can I change the energy of a family dinner? Because you can, okay? The third thing is chemistry. Now, I'm not a chemist. I know this much to possibly cause harm. But I am now a huge fan of of just being the recipient of changing the chemistry in this body has huge impact on my psychology. Endorphins are released when I work out. You all know this, so I'm a fan of moving the body so the endorphins are released. It changes my chemical makeup, and all of a sudden I feel better and I'm more creative. I have a classic example of this. I started this about a year and a half ago, I think, on my, it doesn't matter, some birthday, January 5th, whatever it was, a year ago, I think, or less than a year ago, doesn't matter. I now sprint, and it's a non-negotiable. I sprint 6 days a week. I don't share that with you to impress you, but it is a non-negotiable for a half an hour, because in a half an hour I can sprint 3 miles. Let me be really clear. I jog for 100 yards and then I sprint 100 yards. And then I jog 100 yards and then I sprint 100 yards for 3 miles. Why I'm sharing that with you is the chemical makeup from that and the chemistry that comes out of that, and actually not the chemistry, the creativity and the aliveness and the, oh my God, that feels amazing on the back end is something now I'm quote unquote addicted to. I am actually addicted now to the chemical makeup that is released in my brain and my body from that experience. The benefit, lost some weight, feel more sort of energetic in my body, feel better than I have in many, many years. Now, I'm not telling you need to work out. I'm not here to tell you that. I am here to be the voice of, be aware of how can I change the chemistry of this body in a natural way. There's lots of ways to change the chemistry. I'm a fan of, I don't need to take stuff. I can actually do a lot of things to up the chemical release in this body and then in this mind, which ups my creativity dramatically. And by the way, ups my aliveness and ups my mood. And right, my husband will tell me when I'm sort of in a dark space, or he'll be like, you need to go for a walk or you need to go for a jog, because I start to spin, that spinning context, I start to spin into a sort of a downward spiral. How I fix that most these days is either I talk to somebody and I call for help, or I walk and jog or sprint, because it actually changes the chemical makeup. It's an amazing thing. So 3 things to change or be more conscious and intentional with you, the culture called you: philosophy, energy, and chemistry. I'm hoping this has been useful for you in terms of the good work you want to put into the world, because it is a wild ride to stay in the game and be committed to having an impact with your life, because there's so much going on that kind of gets in the way. And I'm a guy that comes along and says, yes, all this is happening, and I can be more conscious and responsible and more respondable to all the circumstances with my good work in the world. So have a great rest of your day, everybody. I hope this has been useful. More to come. Be well. Bye.